At this point, it is June 29th. It is 11:22. And I'm just gonna have this video as basically me telling my past, my truths, and I have nothing else to lie about. This is just my experience, my memories. I have no beef with anyone. This is how Ice.Out.Gang ended. I am a rapper formerly known as Brick Jizzle. I go by No Face now. This story is from when I was about, I say, 16, probably 17. I'm 29 now, so it's pretty old. But I catch a lot of backlash later on, and everybody thinks that I'm lying about it, about owning Ice.Out.Gang and how Ice.Out.Gang was my representative and it all flopped and all of this stuff like that. Even though it was a guy on there literally named CEO. Me and him, we had a bad falling off. To this day, it's not even like a fall off. Yeah, I had grudges against him for a nice little minute. But after this point, it was like, what was the point of me holding grudges? We get older, we were kids, we did stupid shit, things happen. I was even told by one of my boys, Dre Day, which is a rapper with Wildland, that you never know what could happen. We could reunite, start making music together again. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. And you all know, based off this story is about a group called Ice.Out.Gang. I didn't come up with that name. Ice.Out.Gang was a name and label made by CEO, aka King Rashi, as he called himself now. We had a bad falling off as teens. That got us to the point where everything just kind of went south. Ice.Out.Gang was a big collective, a group of people who all rapped from the Cabrini Green projects. I never took it personal. I never took rapping as a serious thing. I was a goofball. I made music like artists that I loved back in the day, so I just kind of rapped over their beats. My job was creating beats, but to my ear, it might not have been like that to other people's ears, but to my ears, I just could not find a rhythm to them. I couldn't find a flow. Now, we were all together, but we started branching off. Everybody ended up leaving Ice.Out.Gang except for me. It was literally Brick Jizzle and CEO. We were the only two. Everybody else that was a part of that collective is now in a group called Wild End Entertainment. They pretty good. You should check their music out. They're on YouTube as well. Our Ice.Out.Gang group, well, I thought was ours, turned into the shit show. Only because it got to a point where he was telling me, hey bro, we can't do this just me and you. We need people in the group. The people in that group were people that I knew from high school. Epic, Mello, and my boy to this day, Frenchie G. We all just rap. Did it for fun. We get fucked up. Smoke weed. Get high as hell. Drop music. It was just like, I can still say it was like one of the good times for us. In this story, a lot of things just kind of went sideways. And I'm not going to blame it all on Maja. At this point, I'm an adult. I can speak for myself, and I can say it was on both of our hands. But it was only a situation where we needed new people. I took it in as I did enough songs with them. We got new artists. I'll get on a song with each and every artist, and after that, I can take my hiatus. I can take my break and do what I love while he get their mixtapes ready. He still wanted me around. I was hot, man. Straight hothead. Brick Jizzle was my caterpillar stage. That's what I call Brick Jizzle. I never forget that name, Brick Jizzle, because that was literally my caterpillar. I was running around. I was fucking on bitches. I was just doing my thing. I didn't really care too much about what was going on. I just kept writing music. But me writing music to the side and me not being there was a whole nother thing. I got into a point where I was feeling myself. I felt like I was the Wayne of the group. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was there was through me. I felt like I built my own collective on some Young Money shit. You feel me? That turned into me not showing up and me having fun, running around. I was still looking for a relationship at that time. I was just trying to find somebody that was solid for me. That didn't really happen around that time, but you know, life. From that point on, my J was really tripping with me. Felt like I wasn't his boy, that I was dipping off, which I was. I was dipping off, throwing around with women. That was my thing. I developed a new name instead of Brick Jizzle. Brick Jizzle was my caterpillar stage. 3 times was my cocoon. 3 times was similar to Brick Jizzle in a way. But in all points, 3 times was just out here hot. He didn't give a fuck about anything. And because of that, he turned against me. And he told me that I'm not a co-CEO of his record label, which is the Ice.Out.Gang. And instead, he put my boy Frenchie at my chair. That's why I'm saying I never owned Ice.Out.Gang. Ice.Out.Gang was not a name that I would have came up with. I didn't even wear jewelry. I cared less about that. I wouldn't like name brand clothes, a lot of name brand clothes, but I never really cared about chains, sporting goods, all that other goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell, because if you type in Brick Jizzle now on YouTube, you'll see some of my old videos from when I was a teenager. Around the time I started gauging my ears, I wasn't wearing diamond jewelry at all. So I felt like I shouldn't have been rapping about it. That's what made me stop rapping about diamonds, because I was living a lie. It wasn't me. It never was. From that point on, I'm still 3 times. Now I'm just rapping about fucking bitches. I'm just talking shit. Because I end up developing this nickname 3 times from up north. Because I had 3 different bitches every day. And like I was saying, I was hot, man. I was out there. I was just doing my thing. And I felt like at that point, I should have just calmed down. But situations happen. I got into a point where I came up with my own name. I was still rapping under his, his studio. He had his own studio. I was still rapping with his studio. But I came up with a name it would have been called if it was my label in the first place, which was GMB, Get Money Boys. That was the name that I chose for myself. So when I rapped on songs, I wasn't just repping I.O.G. I was saying it like I.O.G. GMB, which is Get Money Boys. So it's like I was still giving them a shout out for letting me still use the studio even through all this time, even though he was spiteful against me. I didn't care. I got to a point where I was into a lot of things. I started liking women that were into this whole phase of hardcore screamo music and stuff like that. I had this big crush on this girl. Man, I ain't gonna give her no clout or nothing like that, but she would dress so, aesthetic and she just listened to that type of music, and we used to smoke weed together a lot. I branched off into that, I would have to say, in my teen years, about probably 18, 19. I still kept around my core fundamental people. I still was friends with some of the same people. But after me and my J fell off, well, fell off, it was a thing where he wanted revenge that I didn't know about. I ended up going to jail. When I got out of jail, I had a couple of friends. Those friends were mutual friends with my J. They knocked on my door. I had just took these pills. These pills basically calmed down my nerves. The guy was like, "Come on, man, let's go to the store." We ended up going to the store. It was up on the hill on Clark Street, up north, on Morris. The situation happened was, the whole time, he was leading me to get jumped on by my J and his two buddies. My J never touched me. So, that's the thing. He never put his hands on me. But it was still the fact that this was all formed against me. So, they jump me. I take off. Get up out of there. Talking about pants ripped, everything. Fucked up. I end up just being very spiteful towards him. I wanted my revenge back. But now that I'm older, I realize revenge don't mean shit. It never meant anything. But that's the real reason, from my perspective, that Ice.Out.Gang ended. If I.O.G was my label, I would still be rapping to this day. I don't have that as a dream anymore. I don't care for rap music as much. But if I do ever start back, I would sound totally different. I stick with the name 3 times all the way into the year 2014. 2014, my son was born in 2013. So I was just like, man, it's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to do different things. It's time for me to try to figure out what I want to do with my life. I've been through a lot. I had my own, ups and downs. Things happen. But people are still running around saying that Ice.Out.Gang was mine. I can't say that Ice.Out.Gang was mine. I could say that Ice.Out.Gang, I was one of the co-founders, if so. Because before that hand, YK and my J had their own thing going on. The group that to this day is Wild Entertainment was actually named Squiddy Squad. That's how we were fucking kids. They don't even go by that fucking name anymore. Squiddy Squad, G. That's how you can tell we were goofs. We were just fucking around. They don't even go by those names anymore. Wild Entertainment, they start really, their music started really hitting impactful. I was like, okay, that's their thing. But at that point is when I started really cracking from my shell from being 3 times and started to actually form into No Face. No Face to this day is what I go by as on YouTube. No Face the Gorilla Sniper. I do a lot of gaming videos. This is a hobby. I don't do YouTube videos for likes. I don't do YouTube videos for money. Let me get a couple of views and I get money. I do it because it's a hobby. It's something that I enjoy doing. And I will literally open up my mouth to tell you my perspective, how I feel about certain things. I will never get to a point where I will sit here and just blatantly lie. I don't have to. If I lie to you guys, it means I'm scared of you. I'm not scared of shit. I'm not scared of anything. This video is just a video to tell y'all exactly what happened to Ice.Out.Gang. Ice.Out.Gang was a teenage label that was destroyed by 2 fucking teenagers. CEO and Brick Jizzle. Falling off with them ruined that whole label. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm being 100% honest with you on that. And at that note, there's been No Face, the Gorilla Sniper, and I'm Ghost.